Thanks for staying with us. This is still Good Morning Nigeria on the network service of the NTA. It's time for newspaper review. Stay with us.
Okay, let's welcome Chukwudi Okolio-Baja to Newspaper Review. His segment.
Yes, my segment, which I get forcefully removed from.
Good to
when
see
you
you.
and the
Good
mother
morning.
decide that the parrot is talking too much. Hello, gentlemen. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm well.
You always look great. There's some kind of royalty that surrounds you when you I don't know. Anyhow.
Cheers, thanks. Thank you for the compliment.
You're welcome.
All right, Victor, you can kick
Okay,
off.
let's begin with the blueprint here today. FG approves 25 billion naira to upgrade primary healthcare nationwide. That's on page 6. Sounds like good news, right?
It does.
And then below the masthead, Tortiv reconciles Governor Alia, SGF Akume in Boko. That story is on page 16 and should interest a lot of people too. In business, consumers blame food sellers for galloping prices. That's on page 20. Reps slam sports ministry over Team Nigeria's allowances. That's on page 32 of the blueprint. And then the major headline here, Nigerians interrogate 3.071 trillion naira FARC allocations to states in 9 months. 3.01 trillion naira. Holds governors accountable for current hardship and not Tinubu, citizens urged. Second rider states set small portion of revenue. Loans for capital expenditure. That's according to budget. And then there's the picture story there. President Bola Tinubu congratulating the newly sworn-in president of Senegal, Diomaye Faye, in Dakar yesterday. I'll spare no efforts to ensure African unity, says Senegalese President Faye. That goes together. And then rampaging terrorists abduct worshippers, trader, wife in Zamfara. With the rider, 30 kidnapped Katsina children rescued. NYSC member, 8 others in Delta 2. That's on page 9. And then JAMB uncovers 1,665 fake A-level results. We had that story in our news highlights. And 3-day-old baby mother held over hospital bill in Ibadan. This should particularly interest Chukwudi. Lagos DCP Oyedemi commits suicide in Ogbomosho. Lagos DCP Oyedemi commits suicide in Ogbomosho. That's all there is on the front page of the blueprint. And so we move over to the leadership. Above the masthead, DMO plans new 1.8 trillion naira debt in 3 months. That story is on page 19. Ikeja cantonment explosion caused by burning refuse. That's according to the army. Page 8. And then below the masthead, police arrest suspect for stabbing someone to death. There's another. Nigeria's electricity customers now 12.12 million. That story is on page 2. Dangote, Rabiu Otedola Adenuga make Forbes 2024 billionaire list. Interesting. And then the major headline here, Ondo APC ticket. Ayedatiwa Akeredolu scams head for showdown. 16 months after flag off, FG halts Kolmani oil drilling. That's stories on page 4. and it has quite a number of riders. Residents allege exploration equipment moved to Lake Chad, Nasarawa. NNPCL ministry keep mum. We have provided enabling environment for smooth operation. That's according to Bauchi government. And then Ebenyi, a well drilling ongoing in Nasarawa. And finally, you have that picture story of the president congratulating president of Senegal in Dakar yesterday. Troops kill 18 bandits in Plateau on page 4. Naira gains to 1,278.58 Naira to $1 on official market, strongest in 2 months. Chukode. Okay, Demola, I guess.
You are kicking him out.
All right, I have the Daily Trust with me here. Below the nameplate, gunmen kill businessman, abduct wife, neighbor in Zamfara. The story can be found on page 12. Dangote refinery commences diesel sale, pegs 1 million liter per marketer. That story can be found on page 23. Ondo residents loot truck conveying Tinubu branded grains. The story is on page 38. And the major headline is electricity tariff to rise by 300%. Unit to hit 200 naira from 68 naira. Nigerians overstretched. CSOs NEC will announce actual increase soon. The federal government. The story can be found on page 4. Ex-NLC President Ali Chiroma died. The story is on page 31. And Victor, you have read this one. Dangote, Adenuga, Rabiu, Otedola make Forbes billionaires list. Deputy Police Commissioner found dead in apartment. The story can be found on page 10. How realignment in bandit hierarchy spurred Kaduna's mass abductions. That story can be found on page 3. And the front page picture, which is President Tinubu congratulating the new sworn-in president of Senegal. Chooks, it's over to you.
Actually, I want to start with you and them. Victor, Dangote, Adenuga, Otedola make the Forbes list.
You want to ask what we are doing here?
What are you waiting for?
We should ask you first.
Don't worry.
They beg. It's that
the right
have two
people.
heads.
The right people are listening.
I too could do it if you could do it. Victor and Adebola.
The right people are listening. They should answer that question.
It's okay. Bassirou Faye is sworn in as Senegal's 5th president. Good news for African youth aspiring to political leadership. The past administration of Muhammadu Buhari signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law. So we don't have an excuse. But then, Nigerians will tell you, what cost comes to the young aspirant to big political office in Nigeria? What are the strings tied to it? I don't think that Faye had so many of these things that encumber youthful exuberance on the turf of politics. So that's something we need to look at.
And he didn't need a not too young to run bill to run, actually.
Actually, you see, all these things we are talking about, it's society that complicates itself by complicating its thinking. You can make your life simple. There are certain luxuries you can do away with now and be better able to tackle the economic crisis in the country at the moment. It depends on you. It's the way we think. It's the way we live. The pilgrimage we make to politicians' places when they come around in the hinterland and see, yet you don't want them to loot when you're going there to collect your share of the national cake. It's the people's way of thinking that complicates their life.
The mentality.
Nigerians should.
There's need for realignment.
That's it. The kind of money you spend on burying people, it doesn't make sense. Anyhow, okay. How much did you say the federal government is giving to make sure that healthcare facilities nationwide are upgraded? That's a very good one. Remember, when you nip illness in the bud, you save a lot of money and save yourself time that you would have given to lying in a hospital bed. That's preemptive health.
25 billion naira.
That's a good one. We have to really say thank you, government, for this. The Deputy Commissioner of Police that committed suicide in Oyo, you want to ask what could have caused it. But some people would first of all ask, are you sure it was suicide? So those of them that
That's
handle...
a big question.
Oh, yeah.
I think the investigation is still on.
A good policeman will tell you that he's trained to suspect even his mother. That's the way he gets his job done. So when he says, yes, I know, but I have not looked into it, it's not that he doesn't like you. That's the way he works to succeed. Diesel prices may crash as Dangote begins sale. That's news I want to hear. Nobody has categorically told us. Nobody has categorically told us that Dangote refinery being commissioned is going to help bring down prices. People are still hedging. Nobody is committing themselves. But journalists like us would say, we are not dealing so much with landing cost anymore because some of the things come from the bowels of our earth here. So that should at least show in pricing and all that.
Yeah.
Well, they could tell you is a common man's thinking, but we have to think that way. There must be some kind of difference, however marginal it is.
About 3 weeks ago, we read that Port Harcourt refinery will, kickstart in 2 weeks' time.
And when you said it, what did I do? I did this.
It's past 2 weeks
It
now.
is still sealed lips.
We read it. I mean,
yes.
It was in the papers.
I remember.
Everybody was.
I also remember
jubilating.
I did this and I'm still doing that.
Everybody was jubilating.
Will believe it.
It's over 3 weeks.
When it happens. And it is not the traditional skepticism of a journalist. Because we tell you, we are interested in why a man bit a dog, not why a dog bit a man. Dogs are made to bite men. So when it happens, we'll report it, jubilate over it, but you're going to tell you, why did it take so long? You never satisfy journalists. So
Yeah,
let's be ready.
because we have to find out why. I mean, you said 2 weeks, and it's 3 weeks now. So what is keeping the refinery from working?
When I said we made the newsroom boring at training centers, people say Mr. Obasabi has started again. No, it's not that. Something happened to us. We stopped prying.
Yeah.
We stopped looking into it on behalf of the people.
Yes.
It's not just politicians.
It's 2 weeks, nothing.
Journalists have a problem in this country. We are going down. We have to up our game again. Politicians are not afraid of you anymore when they snatch ballot boxes, even though you're there watching them. It never used to be that way. Showing their face made them scared. And it doesn't matter anymore. And that's because journalism also imbibed a little politics. You don't want to know what's happening in some newsrooms anyway. I know you soon kick me out, so quickly, I want to say that...
we're having Easter for you.
Okay.
We're still in the season of Easter. So
oh, really?
Just enjoy.
You never know if you're going to be part of this the whole hug today.
Enjoy.
Flattery will get you nowhere. Even though one of my training partners, I told her, you're very good when you handle spoken English. I do the technical part of it. You do the reading. And she said, Chukudi, flattery will get you everywhere. But Victor is not going to get you anywhere. Nigeria can generate $360 million worth of cowpea. That's probably in a year. Experts are saying this. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is reportedly supporting Nigerian farmers with pest-resistant species of the cowpea. Again, we mentioned pest-resistant, versions of all these things we put in the ground. Research in agriculture is very important. If you go check, many of the people who are still farming in Nigeria are farming the way they did 50 years ago, 30 years ago.
Mechanized farming.
Agriculture has to grow in this country. And R&D, research and development, the universities, unfortunately, are just like we blame journalists a while ago. The universities are not doing the things they used to do. This slide that happened is a nationwide thing. It's a national thing. But we have to wake up again and live. Because an organism must learn to preserve its own life. That is why they tell you that HIV at a point will stop creating a situation that eventually makes opportunistic diseases do harm to the host, so that it too could live. You understand? An organism must learn to preserve its own life.
And then these Nigerians interrogate 3.071 trillion naira FARC allocations to states in 9 months. And they're asking, what have they done with it? That's the underlying question. Because if it has led to the kind of development that you want to see, there will be less pressure at the center or on the center.
Yes, I don't want to name this police officer. I eventually headed the police board. He said, a country gets the kind of police force it deserves. Nigerians should learn to begin to question people at their duty posts. You are not, how does my friend put it, a trouble finder. You're not a troublemaker, really. You are only asking that you were given 12 naira to purchase this. We have only seen things that are worth 8 naira. Where has 4 naira gone to? That's what you do when you bring in politicians to talk to them here. You got money to sink 12 boreholes. We have 8 now, and you say the money is finished. Was it that the pricing, the estimation of what it was going to take was not done properly? Or has money...
Inflation.
That's it. We must learn to ask questions.
Okay. Chooks, have you heard of this proverb? If a tree does not know how to dance, the wind will teach it.
I said there's something royal about you.
So what I'm saying is, if
it even
Chooks
extends
doesn't
to your
know
wisdom.
when to stop,
Yes.
they will have to tell him.
I thought I was doing well.
I thought I was beginning to hear the chief priest.
Thank you so much, Chooks.
Thank you, gentlemen. Always a joy. You make me happy.
It is. It is.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. Good Morning Nigeria continues. Stay with us.